Consumers have something new to consume. And this time it's Frodo getting a gender reassignment surgery by Galadriel. With a Swiss knife, nobody, and I mean no one, has captured the depth and true spirit of Tolkien's works like Amazon. The ring is literal perfection, screams Frodo. It will be once it fits my girl, Galadriel. Okay, I can't do that voice anymore. Anyway, here's to the one for the woke lord and her rainbow throne. Hit the like button. I am going to tell all of you savages a little secret. I have seen Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, MTV Super Shiny Swag Edition, and my favorite part is when Gollum and Bugs Bunny get into a fist fight. That's right, this battle caused seismic earthquakes that shook Middle Earth to its core. And while this was happening, while the unstoppable force met the immovable object, Sauron took his hood off and then broke out into a song and busted out a move while performing Without Me by Eminem, truly inspiring and true to Tolkien's work. The reason I'm telling you that story is because that has much to do with Tolkien's lore as the Rings of Power does. The way they loosely play around the lore is comparable to dropping a on Tolkien's corpse. I have yet to find a single Tolkien fan that would be excited for this clusterfuck. I'll tell you one thing, they better make streaming services available in prisons, otherwise no one, and I mean nobody, will be left to watch their shit. Now, the story they want to tell us is not Lord of the Rings. It's about another super strong female leader, general and savior, who's perfect in every way and destroys everything in her path and saves her underlings. Anyway, the Access Media has been working overtime. They already had their reviews written weeks before the show came out. Yesterday they hit send, and boy oh boy, Jeff Bezos now has two shiny knobs. One on his incredibly shiny head, and now he has one on his dick. Because we have a group of ego-driven, virtue-signaling, self-preservation bitches ready to praise the show no matter how bad it is. We all know how this works, don't we? Based on the experience from the last few years, the higher the critics score, the more garbage dumpster juice the show or movie is. And trust me, this is no different. No one really cares about what the critics have to say. It's the fan reviews, however. Those are the ones that are important. All these reviewers are beholden to the production company so they can get early copies of screenings of movies. It's what we call a form of quid pro quo. They want to stay in the good graces of Amazon or Disney by giving them raving, stunning and brave reviews. They are shilling for this so much on Rotten Tomatoes, it's hilarious. If you don't believe me, go on that site and look at the reviews. All the negative reviews are extremely detailed on the show's flaws and why it's terrible. Whereas on the shilling side, the positive reviews are extremely vague. And they all start with empty stuff like, oh my god, it's a cinematic experience. When you take a step back and stop laughing at them, it's actually pretty pitiful. That's why you come to me, because I don't give a fuck about being part of some select group of fart-sniffing hipsters. The only thing I'm beholden to is the truth. That's it. And the truth is, this will go down in history as the biggest streaming blunder of all time. $60 million an episode. Think about that. $60 million. Which instead could have been spent on improving Amazon's warehouse facilities. Or how about giving us around 15 mid-budget movies for the same price? But don't worry guys, I'm sure the woke community will rise up and watch the show. Amazon will increase its profits like never before with Rings of Power. Just kidding, obviously. It's going to bomb. It's going to be for Amazon the equivalent of carrying an anchor for the next decade. It's about sending a message. And also, I want to make this crystal fucking clear. Paying for this shit show makes you part of the problem. So I'll remind you, pirates, the internet is a big place. So big, in fact, that anybody can watch the series, but not everybody has to pay for it. Anyway, listen to me. Peter Jackson set the bar so high that any attempt to beat his assembly of talent Jackson was able to direct is foolish. That trilogy from start to finish is the greatest trilogy ever made. And Peter Jackson didn't even use that much CGI. And it's still more immersive than whatever Jeff Bezos' cue ball head could muster. How dare you think you can do it better? Anyway, look, it comes down to the writing. Visuals really take a back seat, and we already know that a lot of creative license has already been taken with Rings of Power. Unlike Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings films, Amazon's creativity didn't come from a desire to do justice to Tolkien's work, but rather twist it into whatever the writers wanted it to be. We could have had a Lord of the Rings series with smaller, more personal stakes, big battles, and focusing more on a specific area and time period within Middle-earth. Imagine having characters we could actually follow day to day and build a connection with. But that takes time and good writing. And of course, casting the right people, but who has time for that? Just fill the screen with meaningless exposition and meaningless dialogue. The bottom line is, I would rather watch Breaking Bad or The Expanse 10 times before I watch this garbage even once. I mean, hell, I'll go back 20 years and rewatch Band of Brothers than Rings of Feminism any day of the fucking week. And on that bombshell, Mannix out.